Hello, hello, and welcome back to Purposeful Woman podcast. And in today's episode, we have Jenny Clift. Jenny is violinist and EFT tapping coach based in Madrid, Spain. Jenny passionate about working with performance and coaches to help them achieve success, wealth, joy, confidence, and inner peace. She is trained as certified energy psychology and tapping into wealth coach. Welcome, Jenny, and I'm super excited to have you with us today.
Hi, Viktoriia. It's great to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Well, tell us how did you start it? How do you do what you do now?
Yeah, well, to cut a long story fairly short, I started life out as a violinist. So I went to music college in London. I'm English, although I live in Madrid. But my story there was not so great. My teacher and I were not a good fit. And so after I'd finished my training, I completely gave up the violin and I gave it up for 8 years. And so I came to Spain teaching English, in fact. And so I spent all of that time, I wasn't playing music at all. But then I moved to Madrid and I got back into playing the violin again. But then again, more twists and turns. I sort of was performing, but then I moved into teaching again, but teaching the violin. And there was one day I was teaching a group of 4-year-old children, and I was so frustrated, and it was not what I was wanting to do. I just knew this is not my purpose in life. And I remember just thinking, I've got to get out of here. I've got to do something about it. But I had so many limiting beliefs. I had a real kind of, I'm not good enough, I'm too old, I haven't got any opportunities for performing and everything. I was always performing a bit, but I wanted to do more. And I was very into self-help and personal development. I've always done yoga, and I'm very interested in mind-body techniques. And just through YouTube, I discovered this technique, which, my first initial impression was, well, basically what you're doing is tapping with your fingers on acupressure points. So you're tapping on your face, and while you're tapping, you're saying basically what's going on for you. So I would say things like, even though I'm so fed up with these children, I love and accept myself completely. Or even though I don't believe I can be a performer, I love and accept myself. And then you tap around the points. And for me, one of the big things was being able to actually say what I really felt, because I'd been trying positive thinking and I'm a performer up on stage, and then immediately thinking, I wish, and so from there, I started using it a lot and made a lot of changes. So that has kind of led me to where I am now, where up until before the pandemic, I was working in a musical for a couple of years. I was the violinist in the musical. I've done a lot of, I made a couple of CDs. I had a violin and guitar duo. And this was really due to using tapping, using other meditation, other energy techniques, and basically clearing out all that belief that I couldn't do it. It wasn't for me and everything. And so now I'm basically coaching, using EFT and other techniques with other performers, with other people, and kind of helping them following their dreams as well. So that was
That is beautiful. From violinist to a coach and helping others, there is such a purposeful woman. How, what would you say as you transition, I guess so many times from being
yeah.
musician to entrepreneur, how, what was your number one mistake that you wish you
Oh,
could avoid it?
I think, Viktoriia, my number one mistake, I think, was doing things for, if I made a wrong move, it lasted 10 years. So I would, and, other people, I think, maybe do it in a year and then say, oh, you know what, I'm off course. But I would go and do something. I'm always very 100% whatever I do. And so, for example, the teaching, I was very successful. I had 60 students at one point, but instead of, and I think the problem was the lack of belief that what I really wanted to do was for me and that I could do it. And at the time it was performing. And so it was just changing my mindset really and creating more belief in myself. So yeah, taking a decade at a time.
Great. What I'm hearing is just to take actions no matter what you think, just keep taking actions.
Well, yes and no. I mean, yes, but I truly believe that you need to take outer action and do the inner work, because it just creates more flow. I think if you're just stressing and doing the outer action, you will progress, but not as easily, not as joyfully as if you're also doing the work on yourself, kind of clearing, healing, doing a lot of healing, because we all have stuff, but also clearing your beliefs, your emotions, and then that is what makes it much more fun, the whole process. So
Thank you. All right, my next question is, what will be your number one piece of advice you could give to people?
you know what, I think the number one is somehow learning to love yourself. And the reason I say this, it's not sort of, oh, I'm so amazing, none of that. But I truly believe that, especially if you're talking about purpose, you're talking about if you can't kind of accept yourself, accept the good, accept the not so good, and learn how to work with it, learn how to be happy as well with yourself, then you can start to really understand your purpose and how you can be of service to other people. But I think it really is the old, put your own oxygen mask on first. And so learning to love and accept yourself. And this is one thing that with EFT, emotional freedom techniques, we start by saying that even though I'm not perfect, I love and accept myself completely. And so from there, you can start to do amazing things,
Yes. Self-love is the key. Who we are if we don't love ourselves. All right, my last question is just filling the blank. If you really knew me, you will know that I am.
Oh my. Wow. You would know that I am. I don't know, all about enjoying being of service, but enjoying life, really, I think.
Love that. I am all about enjoying life. Thank you.
Yeah.
So how our audience can find you, Jenny?
So, my website is abetterlifetapping.com, and also on Facebook, it's Jenny Clift Coaching or abetterlifetapping.com. And that's going to get you there.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being with us today, and I'll see you in the next episode. Stay tuned.
Very
Bye.
good.
And if you love this episode and you would love to see more of that, click the subscribe button to Purposeful Woman Podcast. And don't forget to text us to stay in tune with the Purposeful community for awesome tricks by texting to number +1 401 399 4105. And we will link descriptions in the episode to all of that we mentioned today. Bye. Turn your one day to day one with a purposeful day.